I'm
I
getting
am.
my shit open, but yes, I am ready. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What I could really do with is a thing that just gives me all me fucking ritual spells by himself. So I can know what ones are just rituals.
Sure. You should be able to search by tag on D&D Beyond for that. Yeah.
Could try that, couldn't I? Yeah.
Filter
Why
by
have I
tag or
got
something.
cats on my desk? What's going on?
Whole cats.
2
Four
cats.
parts.
Don't know. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly.
She was a dumb idiot.
Stop her from laying eggs in the eye. I don't know.
I like your explanation better.
You have, on the trail of one kidnapped Caitlin Goss, been subject to some revelation this past day. You found Caitlin held captive by lizard folk. Her fate a matter of bargaining and argument and tribal dispute, only to be revealed, or perhaps further complicated at least, on the day of midsummer, as a comet streaked across the sky, blazing green and terrible, and Caitlin herself taking to the air, raining lightning and eldritch force down upon the ground. And the dead did rise, and animals did mutate into hellish beasts. And the girl you sought flew away to the north, following the path of the comet. You were tasked by Captain Fielder of Shymeet to deliver a letter to the court of Hyluri, detailing the situation, with the promise of further support in your endeavour, should you seek to find the girl and bring her home. In doing so, you have travelled so far as Lurston, where you have persuaded Captain Irohash of the army there to equip you with a boat and a crew to shorten your journey to Hyluri. The town is busy. There is a large military checkpoint and a major crossing of the River Luri itself. And some business is afoot. You're being led by a man in a sergeant's uniform towards, it is promised, a quartermaster, where you'll be introduced to your crew and given access to your provisions. And as you walk through the town, you are led to the complaints of some of the bystanders who are struggling to get themselves across this large stone emplacement, this bridge, this span with one side safety and the other side prosperity. Perhaps. And through the town. There is, as you walk, a commotion behind you. And looking back, you see people pushing out of the way, soldiers lunging, things being missed, something is moving quickly towards you, lower than any person. And for a second there, the crowd parts, and there is a hare, limping, lolping, dodging its way through the crowd past soldiers who are attempting to impede it. Its eyes are locked upon you in particular, Obadiah. And you see as it comes close, this white winter hare in the middle of summer is matted along the underside. It has, you can tell at this distance, been cut from its collar to between its rear legs, and its chest cavity has been hollowed out all of its innards, long gone, with just a trace on its lower fur. But it is coming your way.
Oh,
Shoot it. Dinner.
It is, at the moment, let's say 60 feet away from you all. You are on the bridge.
I will just warn. Well, I'm assuming they can all see this undead rabbit. If it's missing its fucking chest cavity or its organs. So I'll just warn them telepathically. Prepare yourselves.
And the creature, the animal, lopes forward, scoots through the legs of one last soldier who is attempting to block it. Its eyes are fixed directly on you. It comes closer, and it skids to a halt, just about 15 feet away. Its eyes lock on yours, its mouth opens, and a voice peers out. This isn't a voice you'd expect from a hare, but you recognize it nonetheless. And it says, "You have until Lusana." This is... I'm going to get you... trying to think what to get you to roll to recognize the voice, but it is one that you recognize. As the hair
Gav.
crumbles into merely hollowed out skin and bones, the eyes liquefy there in front of you, and the blood pools out on the stone of the bridge.
Is that everyone would
Uh,
recognise it?
You
I will
could probably
Kick it off the
yeah,
edge of the bridge.
I'm gonna say
Is
you
it
can give
the
me
sorcerer?
insight or history checks.
Insight or history? Okay, well, I rolled shite, so my history is 7. It's a 13.
13.
Is that for everyone, Jed? Sorry.
Anybody can roll that.
Is it Movus?
I got 17 of his insight.
It's cocked, and it's cocked on about to end on a 20.
19 on
then.
insight,
It's right
Yeah.
in the middle, bro.
or 17 on history.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah.
lots of lags.
Even Gav's rolled well enough. It's Sasakath, the lizardman.
I recognised your voice.
That's yes, exactly. Yeah, and I'm not going to try and do a voice and get you all to.
Okay. And he says we have till Lusana.
Lusana, which how was your history check?
My history check was 13.
13. It's the coming of the end of summer, so about 3 months. About 90 days.
Huh.
Hmm.
We have until then for what?
To catch her. To end it.
No, until he kills us.
I ain't afraid of Sasakath.
No, I think he means until the end of the world. More like. Till this thing is summoned.
That is more likely.
So
So we
the
need,
was undecided. I don't think he's out to get us.
He was only undecided because we told him that if she turned like this, we'd put it down herself. Well, I told her.
Well, he wanted to kill her, because, didn't he?
To
Sasakath?
stop this happening, yes. If only he'd told us the truth.
He'd been a bit more, well, I think he did try to tell us the truth.
He just spoke
But,
in fucking riddles. Gibberish.
As druids
Your
do.
internet is dying, Jed.
Yeah,
fuck
so it is.
me.
Okay, give me a second. That's that's a lot of ping.
You know
That's
they
wild
think-
because I can hear you all okay. So
Yeah, I can
The
hear you
dice
fine as well, but
lagging
the
a bit.
tabletop is really laggy.
yeah, no, I'm getting loads of really crazy ping in Discord as well. So what I'll do is I'll just relog, and y'all can chatter. You don't need the table up for this shit.
Well,
Yep.
before we go on this fucking boat journey, I think I want to cast Augur a few times. in a minute.
What's that do?
I'll take
Fix the
ritual
gods.
time. It's what you seen the lizard doing in the fucking tent back there that day.
Oh, what, like
He was throwing bones.
messing with
It's
dead
like-
animals?
Read tea leaves.
Reading
like what-
trails and throw bones.
What they do when they induct Mark Antony as a whatever in the Senate.
Yeah.
They
Oh, I
fly the doves.
understand what ogre is. Jethro
Hmm.
doesn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, see if I can get us any guidance.
What? Don't trust fucking rabbits. That's guidance enough for me.
It's a weird
Don't
spell, that one,
trust
because it puts the
prophecies.
onus on the DM. Yeah, to do something.
It says if you like cast it 2 or more times before completing your next long rest, there is an accumulative 25% chance of each casting. After the first, you get a random reading.
Cool.
There's only like
Not
3
for you, mate.
results.
It's chocolate.
Good, bad, or good and bad.
Mm.
Better. Yeah, so Laura was reinstalling her Adobe Creative Cloud.
Ah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Alright, table is back up. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit.
What a mess.
Mm. You know what I've gotten into? The like 40p bars of white chocolate from Lidl.
Despicable.
Mm. Nice.
The salted caramel bars from Lidl. Oof.
Everyone's
Wait, I
being
just
weird.
locked a fuck ton of... Yeah, it is still being weird.
Oh, there we go.
Just drop 99p.
It won't take her long, will it?
No, which she's turned it off, so I don't know why it's still going. But
So you've only got 666 ping.
yeah, okay, all right, okay.
can talk.
Let me retry it. Sorry, let's go out again.
Just kick the router quickly. Only take 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll be back.
Classic router kick.
What, just literally kick it? Yeah.
It's just what everyone says in tech jobs. For rebooting, kick it.
You tried turning everything up, turning it on. Blah.
Yep.
Well. Spooky fucking rabbit hair.
We should eat it.
Nah.
Don't eat undead flesh.
That's fair.
I was eating that thing. It's fucking petrified.
Did you-
Just look at
Did
it?
you kick it in the river, Gav?
I'm just gonna slightly tow it into the water.
Just gonna corrupt the local
Infect some
water
people.
supply.
Yeah. It's definitely better in the water table than it is on the bridge rotting.
Or burned.
What was the crossroads name? The name of the last town?
Lurich?
I meat.
No, Shy Meat.
Shy Meat. Yeah.
We're in Lurich, right?
Right. Fuck it. I think I'm gonna go be really cheeky and see if I can nick a cigarette off my brother because I'm a bit drunk.
send Gex pictures of cats again.
Okay.
I approve.
He's been sat under that for quite a while.
How do I? Oh, there we go. I have a desktop version of Facebook. I don't know why. Oh, what a little goon.
Okay, let's.
It's the law though. When you have boxes, you have to keep the boxes for a few days for the cats. It's the rules.
What a little goon.
Okay. Let's
Yes.
see if this is any better.
Goddamn internet. Oh, the other cat's under it.
Good.
He's getting his testicles cut off in 2 weeks.
I hope he enjoys that. Are you gonna keep them?
Oof.
Ugh.
Fry him up with a little butter.
Ugh.
Feed him
Yeah.
to the other cat.
Ugh. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
fava beans and I like Chianti.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, it's still bad. Oh well, we'll just have to carry on.
Hey, it's 621
It's
now,
still
not
bad. What's up with
666.
that?
999 for me.
Drag. Yeah. My Discord ping has gone fucking crazy as well. Alright. Fucking. Dunno, lads. Dunno. No advice. Is it unplayable?
No.
I can't click my colour right
I
now.
can't select a colour.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll load in a minute.
Why don't somebody else? Why don't I save the table, Jed? And you GM, but I'll just be a player. So,
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, your
Are you
host.
happy to do
Yeah.
that?
hang on. I don't know. I'll have to remember how to do it. Okay. How do I save the table? I've forgotten.
Games.
You hit
Is it games?
games.
Oh yeah,
Save and
okay.
load at the bottom.
You need to promote me first.
Oh yeah.
You're not even in it for me.
Yeah.
Promote Gavsy. Yeah, you are promoted.
I'm gonna
I
tell
will
him.
leave. It's the weather bad, Jed.
It's a little wet. But
It's not affected if
you
it's
know.
all cable.
We keep getting flood warnings down here, but we've got like a fucking really good flood relief. So
Well,
Left.
it can affect the cable if birds have been at it or rats.
Yeah, it's not super windy or anything like that, so you know, the cable is. Oh, there's a wasp inside my bedroom window. That's good. Let's get a glass and a means to deal with that.
I remember
Chuckle.
doing a raid on Warcraft with Kufulat when we were playing it, where one of our tanks fucking had the cables nicked out of the street. Like they was even like Lithuania or somewhere like that. And some
Huh?
fuckers had ripped the fucking cables out.
That happens quite a lot, actually. That's happened in England.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I know a lad who found an abandoned house and he literally took all the copper cabling out of our house because he's a prick.
I don't know if it's public knowledge. Let me see if I can find out.
And then got caught because he left a fucking shotty bottle in the in the abandoned house and they caught with DNA from it.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
What a prick, like.
Yeah. There was the woman who cut off the entire internet to Uruguay because she was out. She said looking for gold, but basically just stripping copper from cables that she knew there was.
Is it?
Oh. That is really
Okay,
bad.
lads, tables up. So I think if you just select your color as GM, you should be grand. I might have to promote you though.
Let's find out. I'll join on you.
That's a website to save for testing internet.
To be honest, I don't have any.
Oh yeah, what?
I don't have any specific assets that I can access anyway. So, like, what I mean there is, I don't have any
You just
GM
roll dice.
specific assets built into the table anyway. Yeah.
That's the advantage of doing it minimalistic like you do, which is quite handy.
Yeah.
Look at that video of that fucking DnD Beyond thingy though. Looks interesting-ish.
If it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
it's-
have a
if
feeling
if
it's
good,
gonna
if it
be
works well and it's not stupid expensive, then great.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be for really good for people getting into D&D because there'll be lots of made stock things that they can just rip off and make things out
Yeah.
of without much overhead. But for people who want to
Yeah.
make custom campaigns, it might be quite a big overhead for the GM. That is.
Could be similar. We could be just better off using that, getting the other thingy that was on what's it called? It was the Kickstarter one. Can't remember what it was fucking called now.
Boundary
Tabletop.
or
Yeah,
No.
the other one you linked ages ago. That
Yeah.
does look good.
I don't know. We'll try it 1 month, shall we?
Oh, okay, I'm done.
Join Gav.
Yeah. I done me poo. I feel better.
good.
Drop the kids off at the pool, did you?
Oh. Okay, let's go. Rabbit, hare, fucky wucky.
Well, that was ready ominous, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Is he using fucking necromantic stuff or something? That old fucking lizard?
He definitely had some weird
Oh.
fucking magic going on.
Lizard people for you.
I guess we've got a deadline now, boys. Or an
I think it's
undeadline.
Sasakath is a druid.
The sergeant on the bridge behind you kind of coughs awkwardly. Says, anything I need to worry about, lads?
Not.
You're not planning on bringing an entire menagerie here with you?
Only
So
the
I
one.
do not believe this. Do not believe this boat is rated for live cargo.
Were
What
we?
about our horses?
No, I've
What
kicked
about
the
your
body
horses?
into the river, by the way, Jed.
Cool. Yeah. Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm still getting a wicked ping, but hopefully that just won't matter too much, and the rest of you can play well.
Yes, just be aware that you may talk over us with the lag, but we can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
I
not
mean,
robot.
yeah, fine. Yeah, I can hear you all absolutely fine. So yeah, just
Yeah, I can-
hopefully it's not too much of a.
I can hear you fine on thingy as well. I
Yep.
think it might
Yeah,
just be
great.
tabletop.
Wild.
Be right.
Yeah, I mean, Discord is saying I have a high ping, but the pack, I'm not losing anything in terms of audio quality. So I'm not fucking.
Might be a Windows update in the background or some shit.
Yeah, let me have a quick look on that. I'm not running anything on. Like it's fine. Task manager, please. Yeah, doesn't seem to be.
Oh, we can
It's a
talk.
bit. Yeah, exactly. Right, and that's 90% of what the game is, the way that we're running it. So that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Captain didn't tell you. You'll probably have to leave your horses here. You're not attached to these ones, are you?
Nope.
First horse I ever had.
Well,
I'll
let's
pat
go
the
sell
horse. I'll pat the horse gently. I warmed to
If
it.
you'd like to make a donation to the battalion, I'm sure the QM will be happy to reimburse you for your your sale.
Seems like a good idea.
Well, if needs be, I can always call us up some horses. So not too bad. But it'd be
Yeah,
a bit of a
right.
waste of a third fucking level spell to summon 4 fucking horses.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good. I think it's a fine idea.
And so the sergeant keeps on walking. Did you have anything you wanted to ask after, for example?
No.
Don't have to. No, absolutely fine. Absolutely do not have to.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. Right, yeah. And leading one was almost as soon as you cross the bridge, the sergeant cuts off towards one side. I think I mentioned a small shrine on the far side, a collection of stones, somebody being there, the candles, but none of you were able to really kind of grasp what was going on there, if I recall. So again, we will pass that. And you are led down to, again, what look like effectively the fairly old looking stone buildings with much fresher looking wooden additions on the outside and a military presence. People standing guard on the outside. Sergeant turns and says, "Wait here for a minute."
While we're waiting here, I would like to gather up some sticks and mark them with different symbols so I can use the ritual casting of augur.
Okay. In terms of being in gathering up sticks,
Just a little
do you have a component pouch?
Yep,
Then you've got sticks that you can do that with in there.
cool. I'll spend a few minutes marking up them then. And getting them ready.
Okay.
Jed, I've just sent you a copy of the letter that I've penned to Lord Goss.
Yes, great. Yeah, excellent. And you sent that already, so yeah. That is good to have. Yeah,
Is,
useful, and I will have that, and I will keep that. That has been posted via the. Yeah, great.
The military guys, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is being handled by a courier with them. Yeah, and Vic, you are casting Augur. You're going to spend 10 minutes
Ritual.
doing that.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes.
Yeah. So you're going to spend. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. In which case, describe what you are doing by process of casting that.
Well, reaching into my pouch and grabbing out my sticks I've marked and giving them a good shake and throw over the ground and seeing what portents I can pull from their landing. As I seen Kasasakaf do with his entrails and bones, I think it was.
It was indeed. Haruspex, that practice is called, whereas in your case, you are casting this down.
Kind of like the I Ching.
Throwing them out across the ground. Yes, exactly. So, for the casting of the spell, you are. Do you want to lay out what your plans are that you're hoping to consider?
Well, I've never travelled by boat before, so he's a bit worried
You've
about getting on a floaty machine.
okay. Yeah,
So he's just,
absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
timid. Wants to make sure there's nothing going to be happening very bad in the next 30 minutes. I'd have
Yeah.
hoped the auger would be
Yeah.
a bit longer than that, but
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, the idea is that when you set on that course of action, you set on it. It doesn't just give you 30 minutes of forecast, perhaps, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure there's nothing untoward's going to happen to us on this fucking boat journey.
yeah, absolutely. So you take your sticks and you shuffle them in your hand, and you switch them around, and you drop a stick blind. Just loosen that bit in your hand to work out what's going to happen. And the stick comes loose, and you look down upon it, and it's pretty clear to you this is the stick for wheel. This is a good omen. This is the right course for you. And you feel satisfied. You bend down to pick that up, but in doing so, your hand slips a little. And instead of grabbing the stick from the ground, you drop the second stick, the woe stick, clean on top of the wheel.
Ooh.
The wheel will come first, and then woe might, if you are not careful, follow and overlap all the good you are about to do. That is the lesson you should take from this.
Right. Right, boys. Well, this could be good, but there is something that could end up going bad. So we should be very cautious about our plan of action. Is what I will be saying to the rest of the lads.
That's very helpful, Tor. Thank you.
Okay.
And the door cracks behind you, and the sergeant steps out and says, "Right, come in."
All right.
After you.
Follow him in.
Take it that Obadiah's
You're
going to
led.
be doing most of the talking in here. So if that's the case, I'd also like to cast guidance on him.
You're gonna. Yeah. Okay.
I'm being cheeky here, but yeah.
So Gav, your next ability check. So there will be times when that's inappropriate. At the minute, with what you've been doing, you've just been sat casting a spell. I will wrap that into that. Is what I'm gonna do. Unless you'd like to talk to me about what you're doing there as well.
Well, it's just I assume that Obadiah's the one who's going to be doing talking. So I thought,
Yeah.
Well, if anyone's going to need a bonus, it could be him. Give him a little boost on
Right.
that.
Let's roll. I'm just gonna roll. Okay. The soldier. Oh yeah, that is laggy. The soldiers around you do not react visibly, from what you can see. Yeah, that's really laggy. That's fun. Okay, cool.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like ghost dice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're led into the cabin here, and there is a portly halfling with a kind of short cropped beard, wearing a simpler, kind of austere looking military uniform. Unlike even the sergeant, for example, who with his chevrons and his brass buttons. This man has little markings at all. His shirt sleeves are rolled up nearly as far as his elbows, and he is folding a ledger shut as you walk in. He looks up at you and goes, "Gentlemen, your situation has been described to me. I understand you are under instructions from Captain Irohash, tasking from Lieutenant Fielder. Is that correct?"
Correct.
Yes.
And Sergeant Jones here informs me that you are expecting me to put you on a boat. Is that correct?
Yep.
Please, I'll say in Halfling.
He pulls a kind of he blinks at you in a way that's he's touched. But yeah, well, gentlemen, have to say, I do not think much of Captain Irahas's commandeering of my resources. They are limited, as well he knows, but they are indeed his to commandeer beyond mine, and then beyond him, well, I suppose they are the king's, and so sending him all the way to Hylori, well, they're not going to be messing. Fine.
Thanks.
But regardless, you'll be equipped with ship's pilot. Have a Dearborn ready for that. He has been tasked. Tell me, what cargo do you have to take with you? What's anything?
Just-
Any specific needs?
No, just us.
Just ourselves.
Ourselves.
We
No, that's
have
nice.
4 horses that we would be willing to trade with you for a decent
Ah.
price.
4 of them. Huh? Are they shoed?
They are.
And all healthy, none lame, none gammy.
No.
No, they're all good and healthy.
Mine's a bit small. I'll say in Halfling.
Mine makes up for it.
Oh, well, 4 of them. With bits and bridles. Yes, well, that could do. Very well. I will provide you with. For fuck's sake. Sorry, I've closed the bit of my notes in resetting things where I remember the name of a particular place. I will provide you with a chitty that will entitle you to a night of free bed and board when you reach Galbraith's down the river. It'll make your journey much more comfortable, and that'll settle you on for everything.
One night.
Yeah, I think that's
Not money.
Oh, I didn't understand that was what we were being offered here.
We're offering you 4 good horses from the stables of Lord Goss. We have authority to sell them, and you're offering us a night in an inn. Sir, you've been ordered to take us downriver. This is nonsense. You may be quartermaster, but the captain outranks you. We can always go and take a private boat.
Or you could put the horses on the ship.
Or you could take this seriously.
So, anyone who wants to commit me an insight check?
Yes.
I will try.
12.
Why not?
7. No.
He's rolled this.
Okay.
Lots.
15.
20 something.
15, 20 something. I mean, you all are on the right track, definitely. He's definitely lowballing you here. Sam, having done your resources, your research into the economy and the economics here, you can be confident that, to be honest, for 4 riding horses, just for the horses, without the tack, without the saddles, anything like that. If you were to buy horses like that, you'd be looking at, nearly 200 gold pieces. In fact, actually, yeah, 200 gold pieces would be a good deal. Probably 250 would be a fair price, for what the 4 of you are being offered.
Yeah.
So you're pretty confident on that.
In Halfling, I'll say 225 gold.
Does anybody else around you speak Halfling?
Nope.
Anyone else on the table?
No.
That's fine.
Didn't even know it was a language. I thought
Yeah.
you just spoke common.
little people
Yeah,
language.
mostly they do speak common. They don't tend to teach people. People who aren't halflings don't tend to learn halfling.
I'm just imagining
Uh,
halfling is just common with lots of slang, like a regional dialect, as opposed to a
Maybe so. Yeah.
Pigeon
Yeah.
English, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Cornish.
Pigeon
There's
English.
there's an explanation of Gnomish being dwarvish, just spoken really fucking fast.
yeah.
Um,
So anyway,
he look.
Halflings
Yeah.
just
225 gold, mate. That's me speaking halfling.
He looks onto you and matches your terms. Matt, listen, it's gonna be. I was having a hard enough time matching them all up and figuring all my numbers out, but I know you know what you've got, and I hope you don't mind them taking the piss or nothing. But
It's a little bit taking the piss, isn't it? You know, well aware these could easily get 250 down market.
I can give you 175, something like that. Listen, mate, I'm fighting a war out here, right? I'm trying to keep these twats fucking from stopping eating their boots.
You know what you're saying, but well, you just give you bloody 200 and meet in the middle, and then we'll call it a day.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage there, Sam.
So I've got a cat on my laps. It's a bit hard to. Was that 11? Plus? Yeah, 11.
I was
Yeah,
just
11
thinking,
total.
you have to do your West Country accent with a Chinese twang.
Hang on. That's a 1. A 1. That's a 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, in case
You
you're a
roll
halfling,
that.
you roll it again. 18.
18. There you go, Jed.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah. He cracks open the ledger without showing any of the other soldiers, writes in a line, and then fishes into his drawer and picks you out a little pouch. He'll pass you the pouch with 200 in it.
Right on, Pard. Where's this here about you then?
Gentlemen, your vessel will be docking just outside the adjoining door, and he points to a door opposite the one that you came in through. In about, well, if you, and he's craning his head to look out the window, but he's too damn short because he's a halfling. Those of you who are taller can see ropes being flung
Okay, I'm going out the
through
door.
the window already.
What about
Gav, I'm chucking
what
you
about
that
the
pouch
horses?
in the 30 gold.
I will weigh the bag in my hand and chuck it into the bag of holding.
Yep.
Alright.
Looks like we did okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
alright.
200.
Titus. Oh, it is Tidius. Oh no, that was just changed on your thing.
I changed
Yeah.
it. I changed it a few weeks ago.
No, I've left it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's funny.
All right.
As we walk out onto the dock, I'll just mention to the lads, in the letter I wrote to Lord Goss that hopefully will get to him within a few days, I've asked for him to forward extra funds to us.
Ooh.
I told him we'd be in Hylary for some time. I believe there might be magics we need to protect Caitlin, or indeed to remove the possession. If indeed that's what it is.
Very well.
And I suppose he can't expect us to work for months without pay.
There are
We'll see.
two guys working on the boat. They're both dressed quite simply, one of whom is clearly of elvish descent, although he's got a degree of kind of muscularity and swarthiness to him that doesn't quite match that. I mean, it could just be that he's an elf that's worked on boats for a bit too long, developed calluses. Although it might take a really long time for an elf to do that. The other one is a human man with kind of sandy hair. They both stand and face you.
Dearborn, is it? I'd say, kind of darting my eyes between them both.
At
The
your
pilot?
pleasure, sir. And the fellow with the pointy ears bows. I see my reputation precedes me. Hey. And he flicks his hand near his mouth as though if he had a mustache, he would be twirling it. This is that kind of guy.
Yes, it does. The sergeant mentioned you. Tell me, how is the river this time of year?
Oh, swift, colourful, bright, flush with salmon.
Well, very good. Is there anything we can get for you fine gentlemen to make the ride a little easier?
Oh, well, as you mention it, there's a little bottle shop a couple of streets over. They're not letting us in at the minute, but well, yeah, you could swing by, grab us a tot or two.
Oh, we
It's
can
kind
do.
of you to offer, sir. Mr.
Black.
Pleasure to meet you. Black like the night sky. Excellent. Yep, great to hear it. The other guy next to him hasn't said a word yet, but he's kind of holding in a smirk.
All right, I'll take off my backpack and pass it over to Jethro.
Mm.
And I just say, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah,
Do you guys want anything?
grab me a ball.
It'll probably be a few days downriver, I imagine.
Few balls.
I have a few.
Yeah.
You've been told like a day and a half with a night stop,
Okay.
I think. Is that what you were told? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'll just ask the locals, find my way there as quick as I can, and I'm gonna buy a crate of,
Grog.
8, 12 bottles of something.
Very tempted to ask
Yeah,
for a fishing
great,
rod. Pass the time as we go down the river.
So if I get like a crate of strong liquor,
Yeah.
how much would that cost? Say 12 bottles, because I'm sure we'll use them in the future.
Yeah, to be honest, they're going to be like a silver each.
All right.
So yeah,
if
12 silver sounds reasonable.
12 silver is 1 gold, 0.2, is that how it works? It's 10 to 1 for each of the things?
2 gold, yeah.
Tell you
Yes,
what, I'll
yeah, I think so.
spend 2 gold and get
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Yeah, you can get some nicer quality kind of grog. An actual fine spiced rum.
That'll do nicely. Sir.
There is a
Thank you very
sign
much.
at the door saying we serve no one in uniform. And you can head on back to the little army jetty.
Yeah, and what I want
There's
to
an
do is
army
try
jetty. There is not navy per se there, and yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just want to avoid the quartermaster when going back through. Just because.
Yeah, sure. You can. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's a way through there and around. Yeah, it means going past a few more soldiers, but effectively they know who you are because they've seen you coming from the dockside rather than trying to walk on through. Yeah. And you're all loaded up on board the ship. Nicholas Dearborn introduces himself and his boy Ramiel, who's with him, his fella, his ship's mate, his
able seaman
friend. Yes, exactly. And he says all of those things in that way with that slight kind of lilt to his voice. And Ramiel is smiling and kind of looking taciturn and a bit quieter at the back, but coils up ropes and waits for Obadiah to come back.
Lieutenant.
Yeah. The boat itself is not huge, but it has a decent sized sail and a cabin downstairs with hammocks that could comfortably sleep all of you. If the sergeant was right, there isn't a lot of room for cargo. But there's some. There are already some crates underneath there. But they take a pole and push off on the water and get moving. Is there anybody, unless anybody has anything else they'd like to do before we go?
Nah, screw this joint.
Nope.
Find somewhere to sit and put my feet up on the boat.
Fuck out of Lurston.
I'll help with
Yeah.
tack. Tack? I don't know. Whatever. I'll help with where I can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm going to treat this like a leisurely
And I
cruise
will-
and not help at all.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
You guys are in.
Dearborn looks around and yeah. We're attached to the army, shall we say?
Well, like freelancers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, certain
Privateers?
we're certainly very private about things, aren't we, Rami? Rami kind of smiles and nods.
Fair.
Yeah.
Roll insight, Jed.
You absolutely can roll insight.
Are these dudes devious bastards? There's a 20.
There's a 20. When you say are they devious bastards, it's likely that they are.
Go on.
It's likely that they're shagging when there's no one else on ship, if that's what you're getting at. From the
meant
way
more
that they're
like-
looking at each other.
Are they going to rob us?
These kind of
throw us in the river.
yes.
Are they
these war profiteering
underhand
kind of
cads
people?
and rogues?
Yes.
Is
Is that something I can get
Yeah,
from
so there's
listening and
little
looking at them?
There's little bits about the way these guys are dressed. They have touches of jewelry that you haven't seen on many other people. Their trousers are military uniform trousers. And there are bits about the place that are matching what the army were using. Their boots and things like that similarly match with that, and certain things are stamped with the royal seal. But other things are much nicer and much grander than anything that the army seem to be issuing. Anything that you, Titus, have seen in your entire time in Lurich, and that includes having gone to the House of Goss. There is, looking around, a really fucking nice candelabra holding candles down in the cabin. These guys might be
Swank.
pirates.
Oh, this is an interesting piece. Where on earth did you come across this?
We netted it in a shoal of sardines.
Seems legitimate.
Netted it, hey? And I'll wink.
Yeah, well, you look like a man who's spent his time at sea. I mean, I'm sure you know how these things go. Sometimes things just float up. Get caught in the drift.
But before or after the carnage?
Oh, what blows our way in the currents and the storms? Well, we're not ones to question it, are we, Rami? And Rami smiles and shrugs.
I believe we're at an understanding, gentlemen.
But don't you worry, fellas. I know this river very well, and this is a contract I'm not eager to lose. You're perfectly safe.
Good.
We'll ride on until, well, dusk's a bit late this time of year, but we'll ride on until we get to Galbraith's, and we'll stop in there and get some grub, get a bed for the night, and then we'll move on. We'll have you in Lurich before dinner time tomorrow. How does that all sound, eh, chaps? Eh?
Sounds like a laugh.
Safe as houses.
Brilliant.
So, do you see the comet morning before last?
We saw
Well,
it.
it was just this morning, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
just
we
a few
saw
hours
it.
ago. Dirty great jet of things.
It was,
What do you make of that then, eh? Did you see where it came from?
It was a lovely shade of green.
Whoa. Looked a little
Green
rum
is
to
good.
me.
Green is good. It was a bit weird, but yeah. Didn't think nothing of it, I guess.
You didn't. You didn't think nothing of a glowing great ball of rock hurtling through the sky.
Well, it was it's a little ominous, you know.
Okay. You must. Yeah, fine. Okay. I won't ask what actually scares you then, eh?
Not fucking much. I rolled that's a deception roll if you want it. A 22.
Yes, 22 on your deception roll, as to nothing really scares you.
Well,
Not,
Apart from
you know,
children, eh?
more about the comment than anything else. So like,
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
trying to
Okay.
fucking
Yeah.
breeze that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Certainly you are not giving away that you know more about it than, you know. And the other thing there being that Dearborn is a guy who knows not to ask where no one wants to talk.
My deception is make people think I'm an idiot because I am.
Yeah.
Tell me, Dearborn, is there a workbench or some such that I could possibly use aboard?
Yeah. There's some tools in that in the
I just need a counter, a place to finish
Oh,
the
well.
project I'm doing.
The world's a workbench in here, lads. This wood gets plucked out of the forest, and well, we've replaced the planks on it more than once, I'd say.
I'm sure. What's
Yeah,
she
don't
called?
worry if you cut a nick on anything.
What's she called?
The
Putting her on the
hyena.
spot. The hyena.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Snarl.
can see it. I can see it now in battle. You chattering like crazy hyenas.
Yeah. You ever seen one of those things? You know what that is? Yeah. Some folks. You lads know what a hyena is? You've heard of them?
Is that a type of squirrel?
I'm going to say yes. In my travels, I've seen them.
No, I've not
Yeah,
seen
like
that.
a
hyena.
like
A strange breed of
tends
dog.
to- yeah,
Oh,
like a big dog that laughs at you when you're fighting it.
well, like
Chews
a
right through your arm.
terrier.
A terrier.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Big
They've
terrier.
all got dirty
Got
great
it.
dicks.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right up your alley, Aitor.
Jed, I'm
Yeah.
going to go
What?
down. I'm going to get a candle and go down. Oh, actually, I'll cast the light spell. I'm going
Yeah,
to go
sure.
down and
Candle.
to the whatchamacallits, to the
Yep.
fucking hammocks
Yep.
and
Yep.
start reading the Librum.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely fine.
Over the course of
Um,
the start of this journey, I would like to be tinkering.
absolutely fine as well. Anybody else want to do anything else on deck, or do I have to stay in character a bit longer?
No.
I'll drink beer and watch
Yeah, just sit on the deck and drink. Yeah.
the
I'll
countryside
comment
roll
on
by.
the nice dick.
What?
It's a lovely dick you got here.
It's New Zealand now.
Yes. Bad jokes.
Nice clean poop deck you got here. apart from the semen. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there is some of that. You might want to watch.
Lel. Okay, be chilling.
Right, I am going to grab some water really quickly, and then we will skip through
Yeah,
some
I'll
of
do
the
the
day,
same.
and maybe I don't know. Yeah.
Mm.
Boats and holes.
Hell yeah. Yes. Yawnage.
Throwing my rope dart at fish, trying to catch them on the way.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to roll for it.
That's a good roll.
Yeah. If it's an attack, that's a 26 on a fish attack.
I think we can safely say you catch a fish.
Lovely. Yeah.
Okay.
I
The-
rolled the 26 to
river-
catch a fish. Sorry.
Excellent, brilliant. Yeah, grand. You can catch a fish. Are you using your
My
knife on a
rope
string?
dart, yeah.
Yeah, great, brilliant way to do that. The rivullary, as it goes, is an artery through the center of the nation. It is in some of the more popular and well-populated parts of the country, and although much of what you have passed through over the past few days in search of Caitlin has been spread about little homesteads, countryside, rolling moorland and forest, you see more and more here, either side of the river, active farmland, fields and fields and fields of grain, of cabbages, of other plants being kept here, animals coming down to drink. You witness people looking up and waving at you. You see encampments of anyone who might like to camp in odd places. Odd caravans set up on the sides of tracks which follow along the river for a little while, drawing water. But the morning passes through. You had spent the night on the road outside of Lurston, and so you have come to Dearborn well settled into the morning and have a good stretch of the day to sail onwards and down. And the ship, the Hyena, insofar as you could call it a ship, feels well equipped for this. It moves quickly, it cuts through the water without too much bother. And indeed, the crew, the small minimal crew, laugh as Jethro catches ships and looks idly
Ships?
over at Titus. Catches fish. Yes, I misspoke. And looks idly over at Titus as he...
I want to try and catch a ship. No, I don't.
You are...
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I am tinkering.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you made any rolls for that, Sam?
No, there you go. There's a
Good luck.
not very good.
I think that's going to be a fail, I'm afraid.
Yes.
But you're close to done.
What was it again? Proficiency plus dex was what we did?
Yes, I think so.
8. That's a 12.
I think you were on a DC 13, weren't you?
You motherfucker. Yes, probably.
Yeah, from what I recall.
No problemo.
but the day goes gently onwards. You are served by Ramiel a bowl with dried fish and olives and bread and cups of water from a barrel, and are allowed to eat lunch. And the days goes gently. You can see why this would appeal to people.
Chilling.
And you come into the afternoon. Ahead of you, you can see smoke on the northern side of the river. And it comes closer and closer. It is clear that this is current, this is billowing, this is pluming smoke, and where there is smoke, there is fire. And truly, after some time, you come across charred earth, burnt plant, and see inwards the smouldering, crackling flames around an old farmhouse. And Dearborn sails onwards. Doesn't remark. And Ramiel tacks the rope and adjusts things as he is called. And the sailboat Hyena continues on down the River Lurry, past this former home, this burnt family's home. And you ride onwards.
Sheesh.
As promised, evening is late, but with time the sun comes to be behind you as you sail east, and the shadows grow longer, and things grow a little darker, although not yet cold by any standard. When the lamplight of a large jetty and a building on the side of the river are easy to see. And Nick Dearborn, your pilot, calls out the tacks and adjusts the sails and begins to slow the boat and bring it closer and closer to this establishment. He has talked to you on and off about Galbraith's, the place he insists that you will spend the night, as a fun little spot, a place where people will know who he is, a place where perhaps you won't want to show all of your coin, although a little can lead to a decent level of comfort. You will not be alone there, it looks, tonight. There are other boats moored up, bobbing away, close to the jetty, on the river flow.
I think we should keep our stuff
And there
on
are
us.
horses on the road. There are horses up on the road, tied up outside. Quite a lot of them, actually, it looks to your eyes. Perhaps the place will be even busy by its normal standards. And you come close, and the sound of horns and music and laughter is spilling out across the quiet river water. And your pilot and his crewmen are excited to get to their comfortable spot as they moor up. Well, lads, you coming aboard?
Absolutely.
Coming ashore even? Yeah.
That makes more sense.
There's a
Yes.
good time to be had. Good night of comfort.
on.
I mean, you can. Yeah, don't recommend staying on the boat, to be honest. I mean, it's, everywhere can get cold, and I'm not going to light the fire, not going to light the burner tonight, so
Let's give it a
they're
go.
not paying us enough to lug fuel, any more fuel than we can offload. And so you step off the boat and up a gentle staircase towards this place, Galbraith's, as the sign above the door, Riverside, proclaims. And enter this tavern, this watering hole on the water. And into a warm, raucous room with a flutist, perhaps, on a stage at the far end. This place is lit by candlelight, although it is not yet dark outside. And the smell of hot, cooked food suddenly awakens the feeling of hunger in your stomachs.
Mm.
Yes, please.
Dearborn sidles over to the bar, gives a little wave to somebody, and is fishing from a pouch around his waist a couple of what don't look to you like money, but rather stamped cards with a kind of embossment.
So like
And he passes them across the bar. And the bar lady leans over to him and points to a table in the corner, and then puts a key on the bar in front of him.
I
He
think we
takes a
should
couple
probably
of
get our own
tankards of drink. Yeah.
rooms.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good. You must be known around these parts then.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's Army credit that's paying us here. They keep an account.
Oh, nice.
Bill Gunther didn't try and pawn you off with these. He didn't set you up with
He
Oh,
did.
he tried.
He did.
Little weasel.
That he is. That he is. More badger-like in stature, maybe, but sure, absolutely.
Right. I'll ask the lady behind the bar if we could get rooms as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll skip through the couple of little bits. So, yeah, a room here is 2 silvers a night per person.
All right. I'll give her a gold for the 4 of us.
Gold for the 4. Oh well, we can get you a nice room with that. We'll arrange to get the fire lit here and now. Then I suppose.
Thank you very much.
And some food, please. It would be lovely.
And some ale.
And some ale for my green friend.
Thirsty work sailing.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
It is.
Oh, and have you been on the water with Nick today?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. So I suppose we'll be seeing a bit more of you then, eh?
Oh, we're just passing through. He's giving us a little lift.
Oh, you're cargo rather than crew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
I
well,
suppose so.
we'll make sure you're well fed tonight, then, eh, gents?
Oh, yeah.
That would be great. Thank you. and I'm just going to grab a seat somewhere. Actually, if we're eating, I want to sit down with Dearborn because I want to talk to him to see if he knows anything about the stars and sailing, or is he? Well,
He's a dirty pirate.
That'd
and
be a
then
way of
after
doing that.
Yeah. And then after that, sit elsewhere.
Poo pirate.
I won't play it all out. You're able to kind of arrange food and water and things like that. That'll be included in the if you've given her. Did you say a gold piece for the four of you?
Yeah, so that's only he was asking for
Yeah.
8 silver,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's not a huge amount
Yeah,
extra.
Which kind of stingy,
yeah.
really.
So
Well, we'll pay for food and drink. If you,
I don't care.
let's say
Those people.
for
will I just take another
nice
gold or two off?
yeah, give it another gold for nice food, nice drink. Yeah. And we'll just tease that through, and you can find the table where Nick and Ramiel have been sitting.
So, Mr. Dearborn, I just wanted to ask you about this comet I heard you talk about.
Oh yeah, did you not see it? Just as I say,
did.
just yesterday morning.
I did, but I was just wondering, are you a sailor by trade? Do you know the stars?
A little,
Where's-
yeah.
And do you know where this comet originated?
No, I don't know too much about it. The south it seemed to have come from, but what's further south than where we've sailed? Well, could be anything.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
no, that's all.
Never seen the light before, I've got to be honest. You go far enough north, you catch the green flash from time to time, but a streak like that, yeah, run business.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Well, I was just curious.
The old man used to say something about lurking above, lurking below, that sort of thing. Don't remember the story very well myself, but yeah, shifting tides of heaven and sea and all that.
Yeah. Well, they do tend to feature heavily in the prophecies and portents and all that sort of thing. I can't
Well-
recall the last time one was seen, though.
No, exactly. I couldn't say anything for prophecy myself. But yeah. Hope whoever it landed on is all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm basically going to leave him to it then.
Anyway, this is a fine
just-
place. Depending on what you fellas are looking for. I mean, I would say stay away from.
Oh, we're a private sort, don't worry.
And he's looking around the room. Give me an insight check anyway, Gav. If you just yourself, I think, if you're just speaking to him. But
Stuff in my face.
20.
his sentence has kind of trailed off a little bit, and he's been distracted pointing around the room. His hand has settled on, and his gaze has settled on a group further over across the room who are, shall we say, dirty looking. They have uncut hair. Where Dearborn and Ramil might be hard-working sailors, they have kept their ship very clean. Their clothes are clean, their boots are polished. These men are wearing black leather. They are dirty looking, as I say, and they have a hint of soot and smoke about them. It is on them that Nick's eyes have settled and he has become distracted. But he was about to say, stay away from them.
Yeah. And just regarding mulling over his words about the tale his father or the old man told him, with my history, would I recall any sort of rhyme, like what lurks below, what lurks above, and all that sort of thing? Or is
Did you make a history roll there, or
I didn't know.
give me a history roll or religion or arcana, your choice. You can tell me which one you're adding on there.
Well, there is religion in the list. My religion's only +4, but the other two are +7.
Okay.
And I rolled
Yeah.
a 9, so it's 16 on Int and Arcana.
16 on history or arcana. You can be confident that at least one of his parents was elvish. In fact, actually, it is likely that just one of them is.
Okay.
In which case, some of the stories there are going to be very old indeed, but it could be a mix of things that he's talking about, because some of that just sounds like mysticist creed. Some of that just sounds like the kind of thing that they say to you in magic school. You know, as above, so
Yeah.
below is a cornerstone of magic, and when you're working in the weave.
Okay,
But
so
the
it points me in the
twisting-
right direction, though, maybe,
The
for a
twisting
library
tides
search.
of sea and sky doesn't sound so much like that. It does sound like something. It sounds a little more specific. That was a pretty good roll, but you're not quite there.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, well, once we gather for food between the four of us, I'll tell the guys about the smoky bandits over there.
Yeah.
And is there anything we need to plan or do? Or is there any story we need to present ourselves to whatever military command in High Lurie?
We got the letter from Fielder, right?
Yeah.
That seems like authority enough to get past whoever.
And how are we going to play it? What if they try rope us in, because we've seen and we're at the epicenter of it, or what we is the epicenter of it, if it didn't come to ground, then they might try rope us into something, as in work for us. There isn't conscription in the army, is there? Jed?
No, because otherwise you'd have been drawn into it already.
Yeah, okay.
You know, at least not as far south as where you've lived.
Okay, yeah. So there's nothing really to discuss. I think we'll just let the night pass.
Well, it would be like a levy, wouldn't it? If it's like a medieval or,
Yeah,
prehistory kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I suppose at your station, definitely you'd be above that. Being recruited in a levy.
The local lords are responsible for kind of maintenance and security within their wards, their domains.
So maybe they've been asked to provide X amount of people,
and so they'll either they'll be responsible for that, and so you could be drafted into a militia in that regard, but being kind of drafted or conscripted into the army, at least as far south as you've lived, Gav, hasn't happened.
Okay.
Whether it's further north or not, I mean, maybe you're smart enough that you wouldn't be surprised if you heard that was happening, but...
raising the banners or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no, just checking in.
But the Gosses, the likes of the Gosses, the Claxtons, the people that run Haller and, Penvaden, that doesn't seem to have been happening.
And then, gentlemen, what do we wish to do about this key? The Artificers Guild.
Well, perhaps there's a reward for returning to this thing.
Yeah, just turn up, say hello.
Well, I mean, if our man was an artificer, it could be proof of his murder.
I'm just going to say, I saw no evidence of him being an artificer. Whether or not that's true.
Well, his telescope
could have bought
Could
it.
have
He was
been.
a rich man.
True.
Well, look,
What's to say he didn't murder someone and take it himself?
Surely there's evidence in the house of like horrible, disgusting shit.
Well, there is.
So if they've heard he's been killed, they're probably going to have heard the rest of it. So I don't think we need to worry.
I think we're probably travelling faster than the news, but we'll see.
Perhaps we should reveal this to the king himself as we discuss it, or whoever.
Yeah, I think that's a better option.
And
Well,
then
tell
to
him
the
first
king.
and then go. Yeah.
Tell them the story of how we ended up, of what happened with the comet.
Yes, I spared some details when I wrote my letter to Lord Goss, but I did tell him the truth, but I just left out some details. It was a short letter.
The gory bits, yes.
Yes, I did explain that I believe his daughter was possessed, which I'm sure will be a tough thing to hear for a father. Anyway,
Well,
I have no obligation of being. Sorry, not obligation. What's the word?
Objection.
Inclination.
Yes, that's the one. I have no objection to being recruited for mercenary work, providing it pays well. After all, that's why I'm here.
well, I just mean if it takes us away from our goal. But yes, we'll see how it plans
Well-
out when we get into Highlurry.
if it takes us
I'm
away
sure
from
our
our
goals
goal,
are aligned.
it may end up worse than than if we were. Not making sense, am I? I've had a bit too much to drink, boys. I need to go to Little Turtle's room and take a piddle.
Goes inside his shell and pisses himself.
Opens my cloaca up and just fucking lets it flow on the floor.
Yeah, great fun.
I'm back in a second.
All right.
Yeah, okay. I've nothing else to do until we hit Highlurry then.
I don't think we'll know until we're there, really.
And I don't want to
That's
mess
too-
with these guys across the way. Like, I'm sure we
No.
could.
They've obviously burnt that fucking farm down.
They've
Wankers.
obviously, yeah, but like, we're not in Goss lands. It's out. Yeah, it's not our problem.
All right.
We can report it.
Yeah, again, banditry is something that you've witnessed already. As to how well organized, how well supported these guys are. Yeah, that's a risk you could or could not take. And it's up to yourselves, really.
Yeah, we'll report it, especially if they're burning crops during wartime.
Bastards.
Well, you know what they say about war. Attracts banditry and thieves.
Hmm.
All right, Jed. Yeah, I'm happy to let the night pass then.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can all take your long rest if you've done anything.
I don't think so.
I will refrain from rolling again. I'll save it for the next part of the journey on my tinkering.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think
Just to be, fair.
that's fine.
Yes, I'd like to find a quiet area in the bedroom to sleep.
Yeah.
Sort of maybe on my own.
I'll just sleep on the floor.
Absolutely. Sam, if you're the first to bed, you enter the room, and as promised, the fire is stacked, the room is warm. It's a comfortable spot. If you're going to go up there and find somewhere quiet, the noise of the bar has followed you up the stairs. But you do close the door, and the sound drifts away. And although you are given some break from the feeling of Galbraith's establishment downstairs, you do not feel alone. You feel
My
some
friend.
familiar company.
Mhm.
Perhaps, yes, your friend is waiting or has been with you this whole time.
Ah, that was a refreshing one, that was, boys.
Do you have some answers for me? I'll just say. That's going back to the last session when I was mumbling loads of questions in Infernal.
Yeah,
Or I fell asleep.
absolutely. Absolutely, I remember. The fire crackles away. It feels comforting.
Is it green?
There's a little tinge of green to it. Maybe every so often there's a little spark, a little crackle as you walk
Proper
close.
nails in that wood. Sorry.
Yeah, that might be all there is. That might be all there is. You know, just a little bit of the wrong kind of dirt on there. But it could be something else. You have the feeling of, as I say, comfort of having done the right thing.
I think.
Yeah, you think so. You feel approval so far. Like you're going the right way.
It's not approval I'm seeking, I keep mumbling to myself.
And the question comes to your mind. Are you sure what you know what you really do want, though? What you are seeking?
My mission is clear. By any means. That's not referring to what he's told me to do.
Yeah. A spit and a fizz and a pop and a spark from the fire. And you know exactly what has come. You know exactly what kind of substance makes that kind of bang, that kind of crackle.
Yep.
You've seen it hundreds of times before. In your experiments, in your laboratories. And from the barrel of the device you wear strapped to your back. And like that, in that moment, the door opens and Jethro and Obadiah and your friends have all come up to join you for bed. In the warm room, the comfortable room, overlooking the river. Where
I'll kind of look around, not shiftily.
the night is
fire is warm, boys.
Finally beginning to get dark outside. And you can sleep.
Yes.
Right then.
That's a mysterious friend of mine.
You all sleep okay. The again, as reflected, the sound of the bar doesn't leak upwards too much. The room is comfortable, the beds are well served. You can see this place is, well chosen. It's well positioned. It isn't just trading on the convenience of its location, because it really definitely could with where it is. It's very convenient. Being the day's ride down river from Lurston at this time of year. But in the morning you're up. And you're able to find your man, Dearborn, guzzling bacon and eggs. And bread. He has a basket of more food on the side of the table. Some fresh fruit. He also has a heavier shirt on this time, his hood up over his head. It could be, if you didn't know where to find him, that you wouldn't recognize him. He could be trying to disguise himself. Ramiel, his friend, is nowhere to be seen for the time being. But when he leads you out to the hyena, it turns out Rami is there, ready to go, with that small, quiet smile on his face. Well, let's ready to get moving. Ready to get moving? Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Great.
Please.
Yeah. Cool. Just a couple hours more, and we'll have you in dock, and that'll all be well and good.
Nice.
You will get a good night's sleep. Lovely place, this, isn't it? Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
staying here for most of my life, I guess.
Not bad. Not bad.
Bit
Reasonable.
raucous for my taste.
Quite jolly.
Yeah, downright comfortable, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little spot. Nice lady Joanne. Treats us well. Always happy to honour the chits, the credits. Yeah, be good to move on. Anyway, push us off, Rabbi. And you push away from the jetty. And down the river onwards you go again. There are more and more houses, and you realise that Galbraith is not an isolated place, more or less right away. You hadn't spotted them so much in the night, but there are a number of houses just downriver from it. Again, on the north and the south side. You pass beneath a high slung line of rope, where the sides, the banks of the river are a little higher. And there's a double rope that people could potentially walk across with a little care, although they wouldn't want to carry much between two houses. You sail quickly, you sail happily. Dearborn is a little quieter than yesterday. He has a little less chirp to himself.
You alright,
But by
mate?
and large, the day goes quickly. Yeah. Nearly bumped into someone I didn't want to see very much last night, but it's alright. Yep, all well and good. We're moving onwards.
Who was that?
Blurry's going to have a story for us. Oh, just some twats. Real
Yeah.
dickheads. those
Girlfriend?
guys. No. No. No, definitely not. But that's okay.
Alright.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about them. And they sail onwards. So lads, when you stop in, what's the port of call? Anybody you been to Blurry before? You need directions? Anything we can help with? Need to know anybody? Need to see anyone?
We'll be alright.
You sure? Sure. Alright, yeah, fine.
Yeah. Well, you could.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
We'll figure it out.
As not saying this in character, but we just find something from the military and get pointed in the right way, right?
Yeah, I figured we're headed to the fucking the
Yeah.
king or whatever. We'll be able to find a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Let's not tell this bastard anything.
Have I been to Hyluri before, Jed?
You can decide that for yourself.
I think I would like to either have visited here in my youth or maybe
Yeah.
studied here myself.
Yeah.
Assuming the town of Port Vadden is too small to have like a magic college or
I would say
something like
that whereas this place will certainly have, if not a dedicated college, traveling tutors and opportunities to learn and study, and
Yeah, so maybe I studied with
conferences and things. Yeah,
wizard up here.
yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Maybe not in the college, but maybe as like my family was wealthy enough, so they just got me digs up here basically, and I studied with him.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. In which case, yeah, you've definitely been to Hyluri before. You at least knew at one point the place very well indeed, and you could probably find your way again now, even if it's been just a couple of years.
Yeah, that works. Cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And after a little while, the river seems to broaden. Perhaps it slows, perhaps the volume of water moving through it just massifies in the way that it becomes harder to see exactly how fast you're going. And Dearborn again keeps you close to the northern coast, the northern shore. But you are losing ground, you are dropping, the banks are drawing up around you. You are moving quickly past hills, past cliffs. And the ship doesn't seem to be any harder to control. It is expertly done by men who know what they're doing. But there's more traffic here. There are other boats as it broadens to the mouth of the river.
I'll wave at other people as they go by in their boats.
Some people wave back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And after a little while, you are spat out into the open sea. The smell of seawater has been creeping up for a little while, and now it comes strong and clean. And it opens up, and for a moment, each of you, the sight of no land at all fills your view.
Bloody
And then
hell.
you look back around at the cliffs that you have just cut between, and the narrow channel set against the red sandstone cliffs. And looking north, the city of Hyluri. The wind fills the sails, and the men, the crew of 2, dart back and forth and dance across the waves in the wind towards what, for those of you who are not of an urban disposition, feels hard to believe that a city this size, this might truly fulfill the meaning of the word that you've heard. But for Torok, for example, if you've not been to a town this size, if being somewhere the size of Porthmarn made you uneasy, the thought enters your head of how could you survive in such a place, such towers of brick and stone set upon the cliffs and into the cliffs and down to the sea, cutting against it. Titus, on the other hand, for you to hear that this is the crown jewel in this nation, well, it makes sense based on what you've seen of it so far.
Nothing in
And
the
it's
capital.
certainly very tall. You can tell which places are to be considered grand. But there's a lot here that, well, if they're trying to impress you, they'll have to work a little harder. You can't see how far inland it goes from where you are. You are at sea. But there are certain spots that must have a very nice view of the water indeed, high up. There are indeed a few towers. And a few large buildings and some spots with an awful lot of windows. There are also, as I've said to you, dwellings perhaps, or windows or openings and walkways cut into the cliffs. And as you draw closer, you can see that these are rigged up in a way as to be effectively retractable. There are pulleys and mechanisms and the like. Thank you. Good quality
whiskey.
ropes.
Was that whiskey? That's what I heard a glass.
No, it was Gex moving the "You Are Here" marker.
Makes a noise.
Oh, I would like some whiskey. I haven't got any right now. And I've got work in the morning. But the ship on the bright blue midsummer sea, with the sun basking down upon the decks, with waves crashing up and drying as soon as they spread across the wood, because the air is hot and bright, bobs and carries you gently in towards dock. And I know we're a little early, but I might call it there, fellas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I know we haven't done an awful lot today, but it gets you through things, and rather than me just saying, okay, yeah, you sail down the river, I've had fun narrating things, and you know.
Cool. We have reached our destination.
Yeah. In which case,
Yeah.
thank you for listening to me just describe landscapes for a couple of hours.
Quite pleasant.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
we'll have
listen
plenty
to
to
you
do next
anytime.
week then.
This gives you fellas a chance to. I know you were sitting and talking about the city and what you might like to do there, but we will begin there properly next session. It gives me a chance to really hammer out my notes and things for it all. Because I've got some stuff written down, but I'll try and get as much as I can. Do you have a list? I mean, obviously you want to deliver the letter.
Yeah, we'd like to deliver it in person to speak to somebody.
To deliver the letter in person to the palace, to the court of the king. Yeah, that's fine and reasonable. Do people have ideas of other things they might like to do?
Yeah, I've got to talk to somebody who knows about spells that would help. I think it's banishment. There's a handful of things. I'll look them up. And
There are some spells you'd like to learn, and to find out those things. You've got contacts and people that you can look up, and maybe we'll swap some messages in the week or over the weekend and come up with some ideas.
I need to find a contact yet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
With something to write to them as well.
Maybe get some nice dinners, some nice duck soup. Yeah, that sounds fine. Gex, do you have anything that you'd like to do while you're in Hyluri?
Ask around about the lady and the comet. Wanted to check out that fucking Hall of Artifices.
The Hall of
See what
Artifice,
we can find out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you have a key to the place, so that bodes well to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Maybe employ them to make me something.
Yeah, you certainly could, or else, go in and do a little skill share, a little workshop with them.
Yes. I have an idea. I don't expect it to be immediate. It could take a long time. But I wouldn't mind getting something to fix my charisma problem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No problem. Have a think about things. Yeah, Gav, we'll work out who you might know in the city still, and write some stuff up. If you've got specific ideas or you want to come up with some, pitch me some specific ideas, I'm all ears for that. If you want to sit and say to me, yeah, okay, well, I've trained under a wizard and he probably still lives here and knows about, I don't know.
yeah, okay. Well, I'll come up with something and I'll message you.
Yeah, knows an awful lot about, how life is in, organic bodies or something like that. Yeah, just, if you want to do that, that would be great. I'm happy to write stuff like that in. And if you're stuck for ideas, then I'll pitch in or I'll write you something.
Cool.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I don't even need to save the table at all. I can't save the table because it's not my table.
Well, nothing changed on the table
Nothing
apart
changed
from
on the
our
table. Yeah, we've
location.
moved our UI here, and I can change that whenever we want to next week. So I'm going to dive out of that.
Cool.